Feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I'm Brad Berger, along with my co-host Dan Whedon. And today our guest is Steve Rabago with Simple Money. That's a lot to say, so I want to make sure I got that right. We just had an intriguing and fun conversation with Steve. To listen to the entire podcast, visit seattle.shrimptankpodcast.com or subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. We're always interested in your feedback, so please do not forget to rate us. So, Steve, we really had an interesting question, which is for our listeners and for our viewers. What is Simple Money?
So Simple Money is an online loan accounting system where family and friends can make a loan to each other, and the system manages the accounting and payment automation.
Excellent.
You know, and we talked a lot, you have to listen to the podcast, we talked a lot about how family members can loan money to each other, maybe parents to kids, and friends can help out in certain situations. There are, though, a number of other platforms that your clients are using for it. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's we started out with again the family and friends model, and then what happened very quickly is we recognized that there were a lot of business applications where people could use it as well. In particular, we have morticians that use it for prepaid services. We have doctors that use it for services that would be not covered by insurance. We have people who are using the system to do loans for homes and taking back paper or second trust deeds on houses. We have people who make 401k loans for the purpose of real estate as well. We have car dealers. Again, there's just so many different applications. There's even the application that people use for nonprofits who are borrowing money from contributors rather than getting a direct contribution, and they use it for that lending finance product as well.
Now, Steve, one of the things I admire about you, and so glad that you came on the show, is your serial entrepreneur nature, and you had a lot of great advice, and again, a lot more contained inside the entire podcast, so make sure you listen. But, Steve, what piece of advice would you give to any budding entrepreneur or somebody interested in jumping into entrepreneurialism?
Well, the piece of advice that I always give to people when they ask that question is just start. Don't wait. Don't think about it too much. You're going to learn about your business and your marketplace as you move through the process. And if you wait and try to figure it out before you try or you actually do it, it'll never happen. So my advice is always to start. Do it first. Be very thoughtful about listening to your customers and moving your product and pivoting where necessary.
Yeah, you had an example during the show of pivoting, and I'd love for you just to share that real quick. We're giving you a bonus fourth question this week.
Yeah, when we started Simple Money, the idea was it was going to be sold through banks and credit unions throughout the country, and we built the platform with that intent. Now, we started the business in 2008 and launched it in 2009, and if you recall, in that time frame, the financial markets were in a total collapse, and the unfortunate news was a lot of people were hurting for that. And in fact, 6 of the banks that we had talked to about distributing our product actually went under cease and desist orders and couldn't do it. So we had to make a decision on whether we were going to continue the business or pivot and open the product and the platform up to consumers directly, which is what we did. And if we hadn't have done that, we probably wouldn't have been in business today.
Well, Steve, we want to thank you for joining us here today. For all those people watching this who want and desperately want to lend money to their family members right now, how do they get a hold of you?
The easiest way to get a hold of me or Simple Money is just to go online at www.simplemoney.com. And there's phone numbers and emails that you can reach us. The easiest email to reach us is members@simplemoney.com.
And you have an ebook too. Before we go on, talk about the ebook.
Yeah, we have an ebook that's available. It's called Lending with a Purpose, and Lending with a Purpose is a guideline to help mom and dad or aunts and uncles or grandparents loan money to their children and family and friends.
Well, once again, this is just a taste of what you can expect by listening to the entire podcast. Visit seattle.shrimptankpodcast.com or subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. We'd love to hear from you, so please do not forget to rate us.
So join us back in the tank for our next show. It's 2 weeks from today, May 2nd. We can't wait to have you join us. Today, though, the hay is in the barn.